That's it? That's all I've sold? You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Welcome to Not Safe for Words. I'm your host, Crystal L. Kirkham, multi-genre author, editor, and cover designer. I'm here to give you insight into the world of publishing and to help you avoid the mistakes that others have made. So stick around, you're in for one hell of a ride where I don't curb the curses.
A few years ago, I answered a question posed by another author on Twitter, and the question was this. In the past 12 months as a self-published author, how much was your monthly income from your books? Now, it had been a really good sales year for me. I had released 2 new books within the past 12 months as self-published books, so I was able to break it down to approximately $5 a month. And that was good self-published income. Think about that. $5 a month. That's not a lot of money, and to be honest, being an author, I've said it before, isn't an easy way to make a living. To be honest, there's way easier ways to make money than actually writing your own books. You'll probably make more money being a ghostwriter for other people or an editor. But a new author, a self-published author, one who's still learning about marketing, you can't really expect much. And that's probably one of the most terrible and disheartening truths about being a writer. Even when you have an agent, even when you have a big 5 publisher, it doesn't always mean that you're going to see the cash rolling in. Now, you can sign a great big publishing deal. You can have that advance. But you know what? After that advance, until the publisher earns that money back, you're not seeing one fucking dime. Reasonable expectations. That's what this podcast is all about for this episode. A lot of people expect so much. You write a book, you've spent years, maybe a decade, pouring your heart and soul into this. Maybe you sign it. Maybe you self-publish it. And then you watch as the sales don't roll in. And it fucking sucks. I've seen authors contemplate quitting because they can't figure out why they're not getting sales. They have people who keep saying, "Oh my God, I can't wait to read your book. I can't wait to buy your book." And nothing. Just nothing. I've been there. I know what it's like watching the sales figures not move. I mean, hell, I consider myself lucky that I can sometimes see at least one sale a month in my self-published work when it's not something brand new. And that's one of the things you need to expect when you're publishing is the majority of your sales are going to be in that first 3 months after release. Unless, of course, you get to be a really well-known author. And hell, you might just keep selling. You might start seeing an actual profit. And who knows, you could be one of the lucky few because it's what it comes down to. Talent is important as a writer. And unfortunately, what trumps talent is dumb fucking luck. Sometimes you just get lucky. The right people, the right person, the right combination manages to get you noticed. Get your book sold. But you can't really expect that you're going to be that 1 in a million. You can't expect that all of a sudden you manage to write just the right book at just the right time with just the right people noticing it. You can't count on luck. You need to have reasonable expectations going into this business. And one of those expectations is you might not sell a lot of books, especially not to start. And I don't want to see anybody doubt themselves as a writer because they can't sell a book. It has nothing to do with how good of a writer you are. One of my best reviewed books, one of my best edited books, one of my favorite books I've ever written, has been one of my hardest books to sell. And I've never been able to quite pinpoint what it is about this book that makes it hard to sell. But the fact remains, it doesn't move very well. Even though everybody who reads it loves it. They think it's brilliant. And should I doubt my abilities as an author because I can't sell this book because I don't seem to have the right combination going to really get it noticed? Fuck no. I need to have confidence in myself as a writer. You need to have confidence in yourself as a writer. And I don't mean cocky confidence where you ignore all the advice that might actually be really useful to better your career in this industry. But I mean, it is a heartbreaking world in publishing. It breaks you down. You get critiqued. You get bad reviews. You get people who think that you are one twisted motherfucker because you write some really disturbing horror. And the thing is, the person who needs to believe in you the most is always going to be you. And you can't expect anybody else to make you feel better about your writing. You can't expect everybody to buy your book because that's never going to happen. Hell, sometimes your family, they're going to be the hardest ones to sell to. I'm lucky. My family and my closest friends are some of my biggest supporters, and I know that doesn't end up being that way for most people. I realize my wonderful privilege in this fact that I have a really supportive family and friend circle. But most of you aren't going to have that. So you need to believe in you. You need to be your own cheerleader, and you need to leave the negativity and the self-doubt and all of that somewhere else. Because I'm going to be bluntly honest with you. I see a lot of tweets, a lot of people talking about how they should quit, or they're a horrible writer, or they feel terrible. And I'm like, well, I feel bad for you, but it's part of the industry. Bad feedback, poor sales, wondering how the hell you're going to get your book in front of anybody. Rejection, huge part of being in the publishing industry. If you're trying to go and get an agent or a publisher, you need to expect rejection. And it's hard. It is so fucking hard. It's the way it is, unfortunately. This is an industry where thick skin, or at least the appearance of thick skin, is going to do you a lot of credit. Because I'll tell you one thing about those people I see going on and on in a negative manner. It doesn't make me want to buy their book. I've even read some of the works, and I know they're good writers. But when I see that shit, it just makes me go, well, if you don't believe in you, why should I? And I get it. I mean, I have crappy ass self-esteem a lot of the time. Believing in myself was something I've had to learn since I've started working as a writer and an editor and a cover designer. Hell, even when I was doing graphic design for custom logos, that negative feedback was a part of it. And I had to learn how to believe in myself and my work. Because otherwise, I think I would have quit a really long time ago. If you really want to be a writer, if you love putting words together and making a beautiful story that you think others need to read, then once again, I'm going to repeat it. Believe in your fucking self. You have to. And even when we have those bad days, have a trusted friend. Find somebody who doesn't mind listening to you so you can get that negativity out. Because, let's be honest, I'm going to throw you all the way back to the author branding talk. Negativity doesn't make for a good author brand. It's not attractive. It's not what people want to follow. So think about, for example, people that inspire you. Are they negative? Are they positive and enthusiastic? Are they funny? What inspires you to want to learn more about someone and learn more about their work? Think about that. And if the answer is, well, I really like listening to people talk down about themselves, which somehow I highly doubt it, then maybe it might work for you. But it doesn't work for most. And this is an industry where you are your product as much as your book is. Remember, author branding. Again, gonna throw you all the way back there. It's important. Keep it positive if you can. Know that you can't expect so much from the publishing industry. It is competitive, it is tough, and there are a lot of choices out there. But mostly, patience is going to be a virtue here. And that's it. You just have to be reasonable in your expectations when it comes to publishing. If you are reasonable, then you're less likely to be disappointed. But if you're shooting for the stars and you think the only thing you deserve is those stars, and when you don't get them, your entire world comes crashing down, I'll be honest, you're never going to make it. This has been another episode of Not Safe for Words. I hope you found some useful advice here today. If you have feedback on this or any other episode, tweet me or leave a voicemail on Anchor FM. Don't forget to join me next time for more publishing and writing insights. Thanks for listening.